You're in the middle.
Go.
Boom, Yolanda.
Hi.
Are you from Toronto?
I am. On the inside is a butterscotch Butterfinger filling. And then outside there's like Kit Kats, peanut brittle, pretzels, Butterfinger cookie dough without eggs. I'm not trying to poison you.
We're gonna
And
have
then
to
some
wrestle
cookie dough truffles.
each other for the cake.
Yeah.
When
So it's
did you make that?
I made it last night.
People! My gosh, you should have seen when we tried to bake. It's not cute. You know better than me, but
I'm not that good. If you don't know Yolanda, you need to go check Yolanda out. We binge watch her cakes. She makes the most insane cakes you've ever seen in your whole entire life.
guys, she's huge on YouTube. She's like legit. She's like at almost 1.5 million subscribers.
That's more people than most Canadian TV shows get. We know
I
it.
stopped working, had a baby, and when my son was about 8 months old, I was literally sitting at home nursing him. And my friends called me, Connie and Jocelyn, and they were like, okay, so we want to make a YouTube channel of you. And I was like,
This was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
my son was 8 months old.
So you've only been around for 2
literally
years.
sitting on the couch nursing him, watching TV.
All right, so what is the hardest part about being like a working mom? Because you work from home, right?
Yeah.
And then also having this 8-month-old. Like, how do you figure that out?
I'm a really fortunate person. I have my mom,
Us too.
and my mom is a widow, so my mom devotes all her time to my son.
Oh my
Without her,
gosh.
I don't know how I would possibly do how to cake it. It would be impossible. Of course, I have my husband, but he has a job too, right?
Biggest shock was?
I didn't know that it would feel so lonely simultaneously. Like,
Crazy.
I've never felt so loved, and I've never loved anyone so much that it's so overwhelming.
Yes.
But at the same time, I felt very alone, and I thought, how do I feel alone when I'm doing something that millions and kabillions of women have been doing since the beginning of time?
Right. What is the worst mom job?
I have a hard time feeding him. I love baking. I don't love cooking. When
I'm
I have to
opposite.
cook dinner, I feel like it's the biggest chore in the world.
Oh, like
and
every
then,
day.
Yeah. And then the other part of it was when I was breastfeeding, it was like he always wanted that. So he ate it and then he stopped. But when I feed him, it's like, oh, I want to play. Oh, I want to do this. It takes him 20 minutes to eat something. Something goes on the floor. Then I have to clean. It just feels like this huge production.
You're so
Don't you feel like you're always doing it too? You're always cooking or cleaning. Like it's like you cook, you clean, they clean up the mess, and then they're like, I need a snack, and then you cook, you clean up the mess. It's like it does not end.
And you go through the whole thing, and if you actually make something, and then they don't even eat it, so they've made a mess because they threw it all over the floor.
Oh, they never eat it. They
and
don't
you're
eat
like,
a lot of
I
it.
should have just given them a granola bar.
And then you feel like, just eat this. Like you
put it in your mouth.
You're just like, shove it in your mouth.
Yeah, that's really painful. So that one is hard for me.
Moms who were not having, like, who are pregnant, first baby, what would you say to them?
Honestly, what I would say is enjoy your life right now. I tried to enjoy, and I don't mean that as like a downer. I mean, I tried to enjoy pregnancy because I knew I was in the middle of this transition that I would never return from. Like some of my friends have 12-year-olds and I have a 2.5-year-old. So it's like I've watched my friends do it and I've watched them change and I've watched how long it took them to come out of the tunnel and really feel
How
normal.
long's the tunnel?
I think the tunnel's like 4 years. I gotta say.
Yeah.
And I think
Are
the
you still in
problem
the
is-
tunnel?
I think so, but I see a lot more light. You know, we're blessed to have a year's mat leave in Canada.
Yes.
And I think that makes society think, oh, after a year,
You're
women have it
fine.
figured out and they go back to normal. It's like, I'm never gonna figure
And
it out.
that's when parenting starts. You know, like baby ends and parenting starts.
Does your kid bother you in the night?
No, he's still in a crib. I know he's old enough to be in a big boy bed.
Hey, no,
we
you
don't
keep
judge
them-
her.
you
We
keep them
just
gated
don't.
up as long as you can.
Don't worry.
But I know if I put him in a bed, he'll be getting up, wanting to be with us.
Yeah.
He always thinks he's sort of missing something.
FOMO.
Yeah.
He's got FOMO. 2-year-old FOMO.
Was it easy for you to get your body back? Because you look good.
Yeah, you look good and you make cakes.
I really do think that breastfeeding, I mean, there was a point that I was breastfeeding and I was eating a container of Haagen-Dazs a day. When I stopped, I did notice that I put weight back on.
Oh, okay.
But I still wear my clothes that I wore before. I feel different though. I feel like I live in somebody else's body.
Really?
Yeah.
He's sexier?
I think she was going to say the opposite.
I think I feel more proud of my body and less ashamed.
Yes.
And do I have like a bigger tummy? Yes, but it doesn't bother me because I know why.
If there's a reason for
I do.
We do too. So do we, Yolanda. So do we.
I eat a lot of cake. At the end of every episode, I eat cake.
You eat your
So
cake.
it's a part of my life. I'm never going to be somebody who's like, I'm going to stop eating sugar.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'm gonna eat. So I really do try to like eat well other than
Yeah.
When are we gonna eat that cake? And are we sharing it with the kids?
Oh, I think that's your choice.
We could eat the whole cake. Yolanda, it was so nice to meet you.
Nice
It's
to
so
meet
it's
you
so
too.
it's so exciting to meet such a successful mom who's killing it, but also loving motherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, same to you.
Guys, if you're looking for Yolanda, you need to go check her out. How to Cake It is the YouTube channel.
Yep.
She is Yolanda Gampp on Instagram, and she has a blue check mark on her name.
Yes.
Yeah, she's one of
Essentially,
those.
Yolanda _ Gampp.
Yeah. Is it Gamp?
It's Gamp. Yeah.
Not Glamp.
Not Glamp.
But
I'll double
it's
check.
two P's though, right?
At the end.
Because you were thinking of glamping.
No, I
What's
thought.
glamping?
Oh,
Oh.
it's glamorous camping.
Oh no, I don't want to hear more.
We don't want to know any more
I don't
about
think there's
that.
any such thing.
I'm totally with you.
There's no, unless you're at the Ritz.
All right, guys. Check you later.
Because I'm really visual. I don't want to see fucking rattles in your like.
Yeah.